Okay, so we are going to do the luck bind off method for double knit twisted rib. Now, I've already done the first step where you have to separate your front fabric stitches from your back fabric stitches. So this is actually tricky. You've got to remember your front, when you're knitting in the round, is what's on the inside. The back fabric is on the outside. So I've got them on 2 different needles. Now, because of this bind off method, it's also helpful to have your back needles to be smaller than the needles you've been knitting with. So I've been knitting with 3 mil. This is for this fabric. These needles at the back, these are 2.5 mil. So the first step is to separate these 2 fabrics out. And the next step is we need to have another row knitted on the back. Now, this is exactly the same pattern as you have been doing for the whole twisted rib, but you're only doing the back row. So I'll put it up on the screen. But what we are doing is purl the back loop. Purl, you want to have it in the front. So pattern is purl the back loop. Give it a little tug, knit, and then we just repeat that. So purl the back loop, and knit. One more time. Purl the back, and knit. Now I'm going to get on and do the rest of this row, and I'll see you for the next step. Okay, so here I am, and I've just done this back extra row. Now there is one step before you actually do the bind off, and you have to pre-twist all the twisted stitches of the ribbing on the back and the front. So I'm going to show the back and the front. Now, the thing you have to remember is that what you are looking at on this back fabric is the back of the back fabric. Your front is actually here. So to double check that you're twisting the right stitches, you actually have to look at this side, and you can see this column here. This is a twist. So this side doesn't look like it's twisted, but it actually is, because this is the front of the fabric. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass all the stitches over from this needle to this needle, and we're going to pre-twist all the twisted stitches as we go. So this is a twisted stitch, so we're going purlwise through the back loop, and then this is not twisted, so we pass purlwise through the back because it's a twist, and just a regular pass. One more time. This is a twist, so purlwise through the back loop and pass. Okay, I'm going to get on with this, and I'll come back for the front. Okay, so I've pre-twisted everything at the back here, and to get it up ready for the next step, I've put a stopper on the non-working end and left the needle in, but we still have to pre-twist this. So this is the front. This is the front that I've been working on, so it's actually a little bit easier to see. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We need to pre-twist all the twisted stitches and pass the rest. So you can see here, this is the column, this is my twisted stitch. So we're going to twist this one and pass that one and repeat that pattern. So same as last time, so through the back loop, pass, through the back loop, pass, through the back loop, pass, and I'm just going to keep going, and I will see you when we're actually going to finally bind off. Okay, so now we're actually ready to bind off. So you're going to need your darning needle, and you're going to be using the front fabric yarn. So the inside is the front, so I'm using my cream, and this is going to have to be cut at least 3 times the length of the circumference of your cowl if you're knitting in the round, or 3 times the length of the width of the piece that you're doing, at least. I've cut it longer. So everything is in pairs. So this is a modified Kitchener stitch that's slightly evil. So the first part of it, you can see I've already started. The first part is these twisted knits. So you're always going to know which one is the twisted knit because it's the stitch that aligns with this column here. The next stitch in the pattern is the purl, and that's, from looking from the front, that's the valley. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle, and for your twisted knit, so on the column, you're going to go purlwise through the front all the way. This is going to lie over the top of the needles here. You're then going to go knitwise through this back stitch, and just make sure you haven't actually caught the back stitch, because I've done that before and haven't actually gone through the loop. So just make you actually sure you're going through the loop. Okay, and then over the top of your needles, you're going knitwise through this front stitch. Okay, and you can see the loop there. And then we need to get ready for the purl. So you're going to get your needle and pass it behind this stitch here. And we're ready for the purl. Just tighten that up a bit, and then you can drop these stitches off your needle. Okay, and that's the twisted knit. So now we're up to the purl, so the valley. What you're going to do is you're going to go knitwise through the front stitch. Now the purl stitches are all going to be under the needle. So we're then going to go purlwise through the back stitch. And I always hold the tip of the needles because I don't trust that they're not going to fall off before I'm ready. Make sure that this is under your needles. And then we're going purlwise through that stitch again. Okay, and you can see that that's connected. Give it a tug, and then you can drop those stitches off. I always like to give it a bit of a tug. And then we're back to our twisted rib. All right, and here I am after many hours. This is the finished bind off. At the end, all I've done is actually just tie a little knot with the back fabric thread, and that's going to just be hidden when you weave all the ends in. But as you can see, this is the Luck bind off. It's specifically for twisted rib double knitting style, and it's designed to match the cast on, which is a long tail cast on, and as you can see, it's pretty close. All right, have fun. Okay, me again, forgot to do a shout out. So this pattern was actually not designed by me. This bind off method was actually made by someone in my fibre community. It's named after him, the Luck bind off. He actually made it for me last year when I decided to, in insanity, make another double knit cowl. So this is actually his method, not mine. Just wanted to do a big shout out because this man is a genius. Thanks for watching.